everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make this beautiful daisy flower crochet shirts, and these are the ones that you've just seen at the beginning of the video. This can be perfectly matched with this flower bikini top, as you've seen in the images as well. And this already has a tutorial as well as a written pattern on all my online shops, so make sure after this video you go check it out so that you can get yourself a matching set. So today we're going to make use of our daisy granny square that we learned in our previous video, but we are going to start from scratch in case anyone here didn't follow or watch the video from the previous tutorial. We're going to start from scratch and construct these beautiful shorts. These are perfect for festivals and are very cute summer shorts. If you prefer to work them in cotton, I used acrylic here. Some of the yarns here are a blend of acrylic and cotton, but if you can access cotton, I would highly recommend if that's what you prefer. But this gave me a very beautiful finish. So these shorts are made of these daisy granny squares that are put together, and then the shorts are constructed downwards, and then it's also made of this beautiful scalloped edge, as you can see here. And then the other thing is it has a drawstring, so it can be easily adjustable in the waistline. In case you want it a little tighter or loose, you can be able to do that by yourself. So you can choose whether to have these strands either at the front of the shorts or at the back of the shorts. If you have them at the back, you will have this very neat finish at the front of your shorts, but that's totally up to you. So for this project, I used 4 colors, and that is red, yellow, green, and black. And I approximately needed, I think if I was to use 2 strands of each yarn, I approximately needed about 600 yards of each and every color. But in this video, I kept swapping between 1 strand and 2 strands for each color. That's because of my client's preference when it came to the shades of colors that she wanted me to use for her project. So I'll be mentioning all the yarn amounts in the description box, so that in case you want to substitute, that becomes a little easier for you. And then you also need a measuring tape. Mine is here, and the main measurement for this project is your hip circumference. So get your hip circumference, because that is going to play a key role in this project. And then you'll also need a darning needle to weave in your ends. The fact that we are working with motifs, you're going to have so many loose ends to deal with, as you'll see later on. But that shouldn't deter you from the goal of your project. The goal is here, and this is what we want to achieve, and we are ready to go through whatever it takes in order to achieve these beautiful shorts. And then you will also need a 4mm crochet hook. This is what I used for the whole project, and a pair of scissors, of course, to cut off the loose ends. And that's basically it. Make sure you check out the description box to get the yarn amounts needed for this project. The other thing that I'll be mentioning will be the written pattern. Yes, I'll be leaving a link behind for the written pattern of the shorts as well as the matching top. So let's dive right into the tutorial. Alright, so for our very first color, which is the red color, you're going to grab your yarn and your hook. And I'm going to start off with a magic ring. So grab your yarn like this, roll it over your 2 fingers, insert your hook and grab this yarn here. That's the working yarn. And then remove your 2 fingers. Now you're going to make a chain of 1, and this doesn't count as anything. This is just to close off the magic ring. And then you're going to make a chain of 3. 1, 2, and 3. And that will count as our very first double crochet. You're going to go into our magic ring, as you can see, with a total of 11 more double crochets. So a double crochet is yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. That's a double crochet. So continue to double crochet into the magic ring until you have a total of 12 double crochets, including the chain 3 that counts as a double crochet. So far we have a total of 1, 2, 3, and we want a total of 9 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So that will give us a total of 12 double crochets, including the chain 3 that counts as a double crochet. So you're going to get your tail of the magic ring and close it off. Just pull on it. Make sure you don't break it. Just pull on it. And that means the magic ring is closed. And you're going to go on top of the chain 3 at the beginning of the round. Insert your hook and yarn over, pull through all. Alright, so you insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through all. And that's a slip stitch. And that marks the end of round 1 of our square. So for now, we still have a circle, but later on, it will turn into a square, as you can see here. All right, so this marks the end of our very first color. As you can see, we still have a circle, but it will turn into a square later on. So from here, you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. That marks the end of round 1. For round 2, you're going to grab your yarn. This is going to be my yellow color, as you can see here. Round 2 is yellow, and I am going to start off with a slip knot and attach my yarn in that same stitch where I placed the slip stitch of the red at the end of the red round. So into that stitch where I placed the slip stitch, I'm going to grab this loop and pull through, and then make a chain of 1. That is just to attach, it doesn't count as anything. And then you're going to make a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to do a total, I'm going to do a 2 treble crochet together stitch in this same space where the chain of 3 is coming from. So I'm going to yarn over twice, insert my hook into the same space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You have 2 loops left on your hook, yarn over twice, insert your hook into the same space, pull up a loop. You have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. You have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all. So that's your 2 treble crochet together stitch. And now from here, I'm going to make a chain of 2, and from now on, we're going to make 3 treble crochet together stitches in each and every stitch around, separated by chain 2 spaces. So let's see how to do that. You're going to yarn over twice, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over twice, insert your hook into the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over twice, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through all the 4 loops. That's our 3 treble crochet together stitch. Chain 2 and do the same exact thing into the next stitch. So yarn over twice, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's once. This is the second time. and then this is the third time. So just like that, you're going to yarn over and pull through all, and that's your next 3 treble crochet together stitch, and you're going to go all the way around doing this. Alright guys, I've made it all the way around. I'm only left with 1 stitch, and it will also get a 3 treble crochet together stitch. So I'm going to make a chain of 2 and make my 3 treble crochet together stitch into the very last stitch of the previous round, just like I've been doing for all the other stitches. From here, I'm going to make a chain of 2, and then I'm going to slip stitch on top of the first treble crochet together stitch. There, in that stitch, I'll insert my hook and pull through all, and then make a chain of 1, and we are done with round 2. Pull through. So you should see your work as if folding or creating a heart-like shape, but that's about to change. Don't try to straighten it out. That's totally fine. We're going to go on to our next color, and that is the green color. This time round, when it comes to the green shade, I used 2 strands of fingering weight yarn, and that is to make it a little bit thicker to match what we've been using for our previous colors. So I'm going to start off with a slip knot, and then I'm going to attach my yarn in the chain to space right before this tail at the end of round 2. So round 3, you're going to attach your yarn in this chain to space before the tail. Just attach your yarn there, and then you're going to make a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that counts as our very first treble crochet stitch. Now into the same space, you're going to place 2 more treble crochets. So you yarn over twice, insert your hook into the chain to space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. That's a treble crochet. Then repeat that process 1 more time. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Those are 2 treble crochets and a chain of 4, which counts as a triple crochet. So we basically have a total of 3 treble crochets in this chain to space. Now you're going to make a chain of 1, and into the next chain to space, you're going to place a total of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then make a chain of 1. Into the next chain to space, you're going to place 3 double crochets. For those who don't know what a double crochet is, you just yarn over once and then go into the space, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's a double crochet. It's shorter than a treble crochet. So place 2 more double crochets to make a total of 3 double crochets in the chain to space, as you can see here. And then you're going to make a chain of 1, and we're going to create our very first corner. Round 3 turns our round shape into a square. So after a chain of 1 here, you're going to yarn over twice, go into the next chain to space with a treble crochet. I hope you still remember how to make a treble crochet, and then place 2 more treble crochets into the same space. So that's a total of 3 treble crochets, and then chain 3 and 3 more treble crochets into the same exact space. All right, so this is what we have. We have created our very first corner here. Now you're going to make a chain of 1 and place 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, and then into the next chain 2 space you're going to place another corner just like we did here. So 3 treble crochets, chain 3, and 3 more treble crochets into the same exact space. So just like that, we have our second corner. As you can see here, we have this one and this one. And then chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. Chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3. And then after that, you are now going to create your next corner. So you're going to make a chain of 1, and into the next chain 2 space, you're going to place 3 treble crochets. Chain 2, sorry, chain 3, not chain 2. The corners have chain 3 spaces. And then you're going to place 3 more treble crochets into the same space. 1, 2, and 3. So we are done with our third corner. We have this one, this one, this one, and then you're going to make a chain of 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. Chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. And now it's time for us to create our final corner. We have already worked part of it, so you're going to shift these 3 stitches to the side, and we're going to place 3 treble crochets in that space. So make a chain of 1 after your 3 double crochets here, and then place 3 treble crochets into the next chain 2 space, the one with the 3 trebles at the beginning of the round. So 1, 2, and 3, just like that. And then you're going to make a chain of 3 and go into the top of the first chain 4 of the round, which was supposed to count as our first treble crochet, and make a slip stitch just like that. Now you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. We are done with our round 3, and you can see how our circular shape that we had at round 2 has been transformed into a square. This is what you should have at the moment. So let's reintroduce our original square. You can see how everything is taking shape. Now I'm going to go onto my final color. This is going to be a black color, so pay extra attention so that you don't miss out on the details, because this is supposed to be a dark color. I don't know whether I should demonstrate it with a brighter color. I think I should do that so that you guys don't get confused on what to do, because you may not see the black color. So let me go ahead and just demonstrate the black round with a brighter color so that you can see exactly what's going on. All right, so for my final round of this piece that I am demonstrating on video, I'll be using the yellow colors just so that you can see the stitches clearly. But On the actual piece, I used black, and on my actual bigger piece, I am also going to use the black color. So for demonstration purposes, I'll be using this yellow color so that you can see the stitches clearly. So you're going to start off with a slip knot and insert your hook into this chain 3 space before the tail. And you're going to attach your yarn into the chain 3 space. You're now going to make a total of 2 single crochets into that space. And then into the stitch with the slip stitch, the top of the chain 4, you're going to place 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet into the next treble crochet, 1 single crochet into the next stitch. So we've just placed 2 single crochets into the chain 3 space, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next treble crochets. Now we are not going to place anything in the chain 1 spaces. You're going to go into the next 3 stitches with 1 single crochet. Make sure this row is not very tight. Make sure your tension is not very tight when it comes to the final row, because we are skipping some of the stitches. Those are the chain stitches. We are not placing anything in the chain 1 stitches. So after placing 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, skip over the chain 1 space and place 1 single crochet in each of the next double crochets, and then skip over the chain 1 space and place 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 treble crochets, just like that. And then do you see the purpose of using a brighter color? I don't think you would have seen the stitches clearly if I had used a black color. So into the chain 3 space, you're going to place 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and then you're going to make a chain of 1, and then 2 more single crochets into the same exact space. So the chain 3 gets 2 single crochets, chain 1, 2 single crochets, and the chain 1 is the corner of the square. Then you're going to go into each of the next 3 treble crochets with 1 single crochet, just like that. Skip over the chain 1 space, and then go into each of the next 3 double crochets with 1 single crochet. Skip over the next chain 1 space and place 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 double crochets. Skip over the chain 1 space, 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 treble crochets. So this is what we have. You can see how neat and beautiful this square looks already. Even with the yellow boundary, it looks really, really pretty. I would definitely prefer this over this, but I am making a custom order for my client, and I have to go with her choice of colors. So this is what I'll be using for the actual piece. So into the chain 3 space, remember I told you place 2 single crochets, chain 1, and 2 more single crochets. And the chain 1 is the corner of the square. So now we are going to do the same exact thing here and here. Let's go ahead. 1 single crochet in each of the stitches along the side of the square. That's the best way to explain it. In each stitch, just place 1 single crochet, but don't place a single crochet into the chain 1 spaces. And you should have a total of 16 stitches in between the chain 1 spaces in the corners. You should have a total of 16 stitches all the way down the side of the square. In between the chain 1 spaces on the corners of the square, you should have 16 stitches, 16 single crochets. So now we are at the chain 3. You're going to place 2 single crochets, chain 1, and 2 more single crochets into the same exact space, and then you're going to go into each and every stitch along the last side of the square, not forgetting that you don't place anything into the chain one spaces. Just go into each stitch with one single crochet. Alright, so I've placed one single crochet in each and every stitch, and when it comes to the chain space in the corner, you're going to place 2 single crochets, chain 1, and slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round, just like that. And then you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. So this is what your square will look like. Oh my god, I'm in love with this version because I feel like a brighter boundary color gives it a pop as opposed to the dark color, but it is what it is. I have to follow instructions from my client. So as you can see here, we have a very neat finish for our square. It may not be the neatest. That's because I used my knots. I just tied knots at the back. But this is the back side of the project, and no one is going to inspect your work like this. And if you wish to get a neater finish, then make use of your darning needle. But for me, I was intentional about attaching my different colors at specific points in order to have a smooth ride when getting rid of the loose ends. So let me show you what I did in order to achieve this clean finish at the back of my square. So at every point we have 2 loose ends. So I'll go to the first color and the second color where they meet and make a double knot, and then I get this color that's the same color as my first color, and I also tie a knot. You're going to have to keep in mind that you don't have to distort the shape of the square. Make sure you're a bit gentle and make sure you don't distort the shape of the square. So after this, you cut those loose ends, and that's it. So I go on to the next point where I have 2 loose ends. So I have a green and yellow at the same point. I'm also going to go ahead and tie a double knot. If you feel like a double knot is not secure enough, you can use a triple knot. And if you're using mercerized cotton yarn, please make sure you be very careful, because that yarn kind of unravels when it comes to knots, and you can go ahead and use a lighter and burn the ends of the yarn so that they can stick together and they don't unravel. So I'm going on to my next color. That's the green and the yellow. I'll make a double knot. But before I cut off the loose ends, I also have this loose end. I'm going to go ahead and tie the color that looks like the last loose end, just like this. I can do a triple knot. And just like that, we are through with our final touches of the square. This is what the back side of my square looks like. I'm going to go ahead and make several of these because this is for a bigger project, but this is what my square looks like, exactly like the square that we started up our video with. I have a total of approximately 4.5 inches, and that should be the same exact thing for our square that we've just done. All right guys, now that we are done with our square, you're going to get your measuring tape and take a measurement on one side of the square while stretching it. So I have a total of about 4.2 inches, but when I stretch, it goes to about 5 inches. So this is the measurement that we're going to consider. So that 5 inches, you're going to get your hip circumference, divide by 5. So for me, that is 40 inches, which I'm considering for this tutorial, divided by 5 inches, which is the measurement of the square when stretched. Don't overstretch it, just give it a slight tug. Now, when I have my 5 inches, 40 divided by 5 is 8 inches, is 8, sorry. 40 divided by 5 is 8. And that means I'm going to go ahead and make a total of 8 squares. What I want you to do is to work in even numbers. Have 8 squares, maybe 10 squares, maybe 12 squares. So I'll be recommending a number of squares for the different sizes. For extra small, you may need a total of 6 squares. For me, I'm making a medium large, and that is a total of 8 squares. But make sure you consider measurements more than what I'm saying right now, because it's not gospel truth. You may need to tweak the design a little bit to get a better fitting for yourself. So what we are going to do right now is to join the squares in the round before we start working on the bottom part of the shorts and we start building our outfit. So what we are going to do is get a darning needle. I'll get one from here. You're going to get a darning needle and get a thread. That thread should be the same exact color as the boundary color of our squares. Now you're going to get 2 squares and join them on the side, starting from the chain 1 space. You may not see it, but we know there's a chain 1 space in between the 2 single crochets in the corners. So you start with the chain 1 space and join it, and then start joining the stitches together. So join stitch to stitch all the way across. And you should notice that I am using 1 strand of yarn. As much as I used a double strand for black, when it comes to joining the pieces together, I'm using a single strand so that I can have that seamless look that's very clean for my joining part of the squares together. All right, so this is what we have. You're going to go ahead and continue joining your squares. This to this, this to this, this to this. And keep joining until all the squares are joined, and then I'll be back to show you what to do next. Alright guys, you can see how the squares have been joined. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now I'm going to join in the round. Just fold it over like this. Let me zoom out a little bit so that you can see exactly what's going on. And we're going to join this side as well in order to form a round. So just like we've been doing for all the other motifs, you're going to join this corner as well. All right, so let's see what we have right now. You can see we've joined our piece into a round, and now we're going to go on to our next step. All right guys, now that we are done with the motifs, we are now going to get our black color just to clean up the edge, especially the bottom edge. And this time I'm going to go back to my double strand. If you're using a DK weight yarn, this is not something that you should be worried about. Just get your 1 strand of yarn and attach it. This is going to be the down side of my shorts. So I'll attach in any stitch I'm sorry for using the black color, but I'm going to try my best to explain. So attach your yarn and half double crochet in each and every stitch around. So since I have a total of 8 motifs and each side of the square has 16 stitches, I'm going to have a total of 16 times 8 motifs, which is a total of, let me find out here, 16 times 8, 128 stitches all the way around. So this is going to differ depending on the number of motifs that you ended up with, and also the size that you're making for. So for me, my goal is to have a total of 128 stitches, because along each square I'm going to have a total of 16 stitches. As you can see here, these are my 16 stitches finished. I'm going to go all the way around. Once you get your 16 stitches, you just cross over to the opposite side and work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 16 stitches of the next square. So go all the way around, and I'll meet you back at this point where we started this round. Alright guys, now we've made it all the way around, and I'm placing my last half double crochet into the last stitch here, and then slip stitching into the very first half double crochet of the round. Now I'm going to make a chain of 1 and cut my yarn. Alright, so after you chain 1, cut your yarn and then pull through. Now this is what you should have. Now we're going to switch our yarn to another color, and for me that's the red color. If you want to follow the same exact instructions as mine, it's time for you to switch. But this time round we are going to take some measurements. We're going to take this measurement here, and that is about 5 inches for me. I'll consider 5 inches because it will be a bit stretched. And then I'm going to put our intended length of short before we split the legs. So for me, I'm going to consider 9 inches total, which is for a size medium. For size large, you're going to consider 10 inches, size XL 11, 2XL 12. Now for size XS, you will consider 8 inches. Now, you're going to take a measurement here, just like this, and then add an inch, so that is 6, and then subtract this number from the figures that I've showed on the screen. So since I'm making for a size medium and I have to have a total of 9 inches, so 9 minus 6 is equal to 3. I'm going to get my next color. And I'm going to attach it where I left off with the black. Attach your yarn and then chain 1 and half double crochet once in each and every stitch around. So for the next rounds, it's going to just be plain rounds of half double crochet stitches. And also you have to make sure you're working in the opposite direction of the previous round. Color and keep working half double crochet rounds, plain rounds of half double crochet stitches until you get that length or the number that I've put on the screen, and then it will be time for us to split the legs. So you can play around with colors as much as you want. So for me, I need a total of 3 inches based on my calculations. Before I split the legs. Alright, so when you come to the end of the round, I'm placing my last half double crochet, and then you're going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet of the round, chain 1 and turn your work, and that's going to be the repeat round again and again until you have 1 inch less than the number of inches that I suggested on the screen earlier on. So feel free to play around with colors the way you wish. And then I'll be back to show you what to do once I get mine ready and I'm at that point of splitting the legs. Alright guys, I kept working the half double crochet round, making sure that I'm always working in the opposite direction of the previous round until I had 1 inch less than my intended length. Remember the figures that I put on the screen earlier on? I had to get a total of 9 inches, but now I have 8 inches. So you're going to keep working and playing around with your colors. As you can see, I have a strip of red and then I have a strip of yellow. I'm going to continue with the yellow a little bit more, but even if you want to make a solid color at the base, you can even go ahead and do that. Just make sure you have 1 inch less than your intended length before the split of the legs. That 1 inch is going to cater for the waistband of the shorts. So once you get that measurement right, you're going to count the number of stitches that you have for your very last round. At this point, you're going to count around your last round. For me, that is the yellow round. And I'm going to split the shorts into 2. So I'm going to just fold over so that I can just eyeball. Just get the exact middle stitch on the opposite side. For me, this is the stitch. I've marked it with a stitch marker. And after your last slip stitch, I'm going to you're going to make a chain that splits the legs of the shorts. All right, so I'm going to make a chain of 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And for measurement reference, I have a total of about 5 inches. Now for the different sizes, this will differ by around 1 inch less or more, depending on the size that you're making for, but just follow the instructions on the screen. So you're going to attach in that stitch that had the stitch marker. I had removed it, but my darning needle acted as a stitch marker. So you're going to slip stitch into the opposite side. And that way we have split the legs of the shorts. Now we're going to go ahead and keep working our half double crochet rounds and make sure you're working in the opposite direction of the previous round. As you can see here, we are working in the opposite direction. So you're going to make a chain of 1 and half double crochet in each and every stitch all the way around. We are just placing 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around until we get back to the chain. We are first working one side and then we shall go to the second side later on. Alright guys, now I've gone all the way around until I reached the chain that we placed in the middle of the shorts. Now at this point, you're going to go into each and every chain with 1 half double crochet. Make sure you don't skip any chain. So remember, I mentioned that we are first working on one side of the shorts and extending the legs. and then we shall go to the opposite side later on. All right, so we're almost coming to the end of the chain, and I'm still placing 1/2 double crochet in each and every chain of the middle chain of the shirts. So this is what you'll have. And then from here, you're going to slip stitch on top of the first 1/2 double crochet of the round. That's it. So this is what you're going to have. You can see we are building one extension on one side. So from here, you're going to make a chain of 1 and turn your work so that you're working in the opposite direction of the previous round. And you're going to 1/2 double crochet in each and every stitch all the way around. So we are back to just working plain rounds of 1/2 double crochet stitches, just like we were doing for this portion of the shirts. And at this point, you can also feel free to play around with colors the way you want, depending on what effect that you want your shirts to create. So I'm just going to keep chaining 1, turning my work 1/2 double crochet in every stitch, and then slip stitching into the very first 1/2 double crochet of the round. Chain 1, turn your work. Make sure you're always working in the opposite direction of the previous round. This is going to give you the same exact effect that we have for this part. Now, let me go ahead and finish one side of my shirts, and then I'll come back and show you how to attach and work on the second side of the shirts. Alright guys, this is what everything looks like at the moment. I did 2 rounds after the splitting of the legs. I did 2 rounds of the yellow color so that the contrasting color doesn't land here at the split. And then I switched my color to green, and now I'm left with the edging at the base. But before I do that, I'm going to attach my yarn on the opposite side just to show you what to do, because I usually get this question of how did you work the second side, or how did you attach your yarn on the second side or the second leg extension. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to make a slip knot, and then you're going to attach in any, I would call it stitch. I'm going to attach here. And then you're going to go all the way along the chain, the middle chain. Sorry, just to make sure that I'm working in the opposite direction of the previous round, I'm going to consider this side. So see where the stitches are facing, and you will determine where your row 1 is going to face. So since the stitches are coming in from this side, I'm going to go to this side so that I'm working in the opposite direction of the previous round. And after my chain 1, I'm going to go into each and every stitch with a half double crochet all the way around. So that's how you attach your yarn, and you're going to repeat the same exact process that you've done for your very first side to balance the leg extensions. So go all the way around, and when it comes to this part, you're going to go into each and every chain here and then slip stitch on top of the first half double crochet of the round, and then keep working your rounds in order to balance what we have on this side. All right, so I'm here working in each and every chain of the middle chain of the shorts. As you can see, I'm going into each and every chain. So that we balance exactly what we have on the other side onto the second side of the shorts. Make sure you go into the chains. All right, so after placing your last half double crochet into the last chain, you will go into the very first half double crochet of the round and place a slip stitch on top of it, and that's it. So you're going to just keep working back and forth until you get the same length for your second leg extension as the very first side. So as you can see here, this side is longer and this side is shorter, so we have to balance the two sides. So I'm going to keep working the same exact rounds as I had for the first side, and then I'll be back to show you what I have. All right guys, I've gone ahead to balance both sides of the shorts, as you can see. And before I put the boundary of the shorts, I'm going to first go to the upper side of the shorts and create a waistband. So remember the row that we used to clean up the downer edge, the black row? This time around, we are going to use a double crochet stitch. So we're going to go all the way around. I'm going to explain that because the black color may not be as visible as we may wish for it to be. So you're going to attach your yarn in any stitch and make a chain of 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then double crochet in each and every stitch around the top of the shorts. So this waistband is going to accommodate the 1 inch that we eliminated while creating the body of the shorts. So just go all the way around, placing double crochet stitches in each and every stitch and evenly placing them so that you don't have any big gaps left behind. So this is what you're going to have. Go all the way around and I'll meet you back at the beginning of my round. Alright guys, so when you make it all the way around, you're going to slip stitch on top of the first chain 3 of the round because it counted as a double crochet. Now this is what you're going to have. After this, you're going to make a chain of 3 and front post double crochet in the next stitch. So yarn over and go around the post of the double crochet, push it to the front and then double crochet as usual, and then back post double crochet in the next stitch. If you don't know how to do these stitches, I recommend that you go and first practice them and then you come back to this video. So front post double crochet into the next stitch and back post double crochet into the next stitch. So that's what we are going to keep doing, alternating between front post and back post double crochet all the way around. This is going to start creating a ribbed effect for our waistband of the shorts. I don't know if you can see the ribbed effect, but this is what it looks like. It's going to create some sort of bumps on the waistline of the shorts. So go all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the end of round 2 of the waistband. So we've come to the end of round 2 of the waistband, and I've ended with a back post double crochet into the last stitch of round 1. But it doesn't matter whatever you end with, whether a back post or a front post double crochet, that's fine. Now you're going to go into the top of the first chain 3 of the round with a slip stitch to end round 2 of the waistband. Round 3 is basically going to be the same exact thing as round 2, only that this time you're going to make a chain of 3, and you're going to place a front post in each front post and a back post in each back post. So since I started my round with a front post, I'm starting off with a front post double crochet, and I'm going to keep alternating between front and back post. So everything should work out automatically, because for the last round we were alternating between the 2 stitches. So that means you're just placing one front post in each front post and one back post in each back post, and you can see the ribbing that's being formed. So let me go all the way around, and this is the final round of the waistband, unless if you want to make it a little bit thicker. This is the round that you're going to keep repeating, but for me, this is my very last round. So let me just go ahead and keep working until I come back to the beginning of the round. Alright guys, I'm done with round 3, and I'm going to slip stitch on top of the first chain 3 of the round, make a chain of 1 and cut my yarn. Now this is the very final round of my waistband, and this is what it looks like. You can see the ribbing of the waistband. Now you're going to grab your waistband color. For me, that is the black color, and you're going to make a very long chain. This is going to act as the drawstring for our shorts. So you start with a slip knot and make a very long chain of about 200 chains or 250 chains, depending on how long you want your drawstring to be. Alright guys, now I have my chain ready. I'm going to thread it into my darning needle. And I'm going to go in and out of every 2 stitches of the middle round of the shorts. In and out of every 2 stitches of the middle round of the waistband. So all the way around until I get back here. So this chain should be along this line where the legs or the short splits. So from here all the way around. Alright guys, after passing through your drawstring in the middle round of the waistband, this is going to act as a drawstring that's going to make the waist line of the shorts adjustable. As you can see here, you can make it as tight as you want or as loose as you want. Now you can go ahead and just tie a knot at this point, and you can also go ahead to maybe attach some tassels or beads at the end of the drawstring, or shells, depending on what you want. But for me, I'm going to just cut off the loose ends. So I'm going to just cut off the excess yarn on the ends of the drawstring. So just like that, we are done with the upper part. And now we are now going to go to the bottom part of the shorts. As you can see here, we are done with one side. I'm going to teach you how you can achieve this beautiful scalloped edge on the opposite side. So I've already done one side, and I'm going to teach you how to do that on this side so that we can balance exactly what we have on this side onto this side. So you're going to grab your yarn and you're going to attach. I'm using the black color to finish up the edges at the bottom edge of the shorts. And I'm attaching my yarn in a way that I'm working in the opposite direction of the previous round, just like we've been doing before. So I'm going to attach my yarn in any stitch, and then make a chain of 1 and half double crochet once in each and every stitch around. We are going to first clean up the edge with a half double crochet stitch, and then we shall start creating our scalloped edge. So half double crochet once in each and every stitch until the end of the round, and I'll meet you back at this point. All right, so we're coming to the end of the round, and I'm placing my last half double crochet into the last stitch, and then I'm going to slip stitch on top of the very first half double crochet of the round, just like that. And now we're going to go on to our final round that creates this beautiful scalloped edge, and you're going to make sure that you're on the right side of your work. For me, I'm already on that side, so I'll just continue. Make sure you're working this final round on the right side of your work. So you're going to make a chain of 1 and single crochet into the very first stitch, and then chain 3 and 3 more double crochets into the same stitch where you placed the single crochet. So 3 double crochets there, and then you're going to skip over 2 stitches and single crochet into the next stitch. Chain 3, double crochet 3 more times into the same stitch with the single crochet, and then skip over 2 stitches and single crochet into the next. And we're going to repeat that all the way around, creating these cute little scallops on the edge of the bottom of our shorts. So as you can see, the scalloped edge is already forming. All right, so we've come to the end of the round, and you can see the scallops all the way around the leg opening. I'm going to just slip stitch into the very first single crochet of the round to end this round, and I'll make a chain of 1 and cut my yarn. So let's see what we have. Remember, I had already worked my second side, so I was just balancing the 2 sides. So at this point, I should have my shorts pretty much done. As you can see here, the black color is dominating the base of the shorts, and then the flowers are around the top of the shorts. Then we have a ribbed waistband that has a drawstring for adjustment of the waistband, and you're going to go ahead and weave in all your ends. And let's see the final look of these shorts. If you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to check out the written pattern on all my online shops, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye, guys.